like, you know what I'm saying, they dropped the ball with Earn, and that's where I wanted Van to shut the fuck up in the beginning and girl recognize that. And that's what I was saying too, where we were saying what you constantly acknowledge about a person is what you get, because they will start to give you that only because they get to a point, and not to, you know what I'm saying, victim blame in situations where it's like, you know what I'm saying, certain things are unexcusable. But what I'm saying is, if you are constantly down talking a person and constantly putting yourself in a space with them also, they're going to give you that energy back. They're going to prove you right about all the negative shit that you say. And then they might go be an angel with somebody else because that person is pouring angelic life into them. And I feel like Van didn't recognize that. She didn't recognize how, you know, she gives him, she talk shit, but I can still see how she gives him grace. She lets him stay over there regardless of anything that they've been through, da-da-da-da-da. And she does kind of, you know, hey, you can do this. Let me help you with that. Da-da-da-da-da. She supports what he says. If he say he got an idea, she might be like,
she definitely supports.
Okay, let's go. Let's see how it works. He do some shit sometimes. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? She puts faith in him. And that's why I was like, girl, recognize he trying to open up to you, talking about his dream. You just heard in this scene here, Al confirms that Ern is not a person that talks about his feelings. He's not a person that expresses himself like that. But in the very opening scene with him and Van, we see him trying to do that with her. She couldn't let it be in that moment, but we see him trying to do that with her, which does show a difference that, and this can be problematic as well, but depending on how you treat him is depending on what you get back. Now, granted, that's codependency.
Yes.
But
yes,
it is good to know. It's a good thing to be aware of, because if his surrounding people would recognize that, they may be able to emotionally support him in a way that could get him to a more independent standpoint instead of just icing him out and talking down on him all the damn time.
That is true. She puts up a lot with Al, but she is getting something out of this situation as well. I still think that Al more so is getting more because he's a moocher. He's staying in it. Ern. Yeah. I still think Ern is getting more out of the situation because he is a moocher. He is. I mean, she asked him, "Tell me you love me." She didn't ask him, but she said, "Tell me you love me, sir. You love me." Something along those lines. Basically, she wanted to hear his feelings for her, and he couldn't say it because, and he wouldn't say it because. Even though they're acting like they're a couple, you know, like I said earlier, they're sleeping together, waking up together. He's kissing on her, all that good stuff. He doesn't really. That could be based on maybe him not having the ability to open up. It could be that. It could be that he really just doesn't like her because I feel like he's definitely using her for a couch, for some place to stay. If he had his own place, I don't think that he would even be there with her. And the only reason I say that, think about this. He had written down on his little text thing, what is that called? A phone? Wow. Wow.
What's that called? A phone? Sis.
Don't worry about that.
I'm gonna stick that in there. You just keep talking.
He was writing on his phone, "I love you. I want to talk to you tomorrow," or something along those lines. And he couldn't press send. I think that would have been used as an emotional tactic. That's just me personally. I think it was an emotional thing. I don't think he really loves her. Now,
I see what she's saying, cause Al called him right after that, and it was like,
right, like he answered Al. He just had this conversation with some weird dude on the train to try to get him to eat a Nutella sandwich. But he couldn't tell her he loved it. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe he actually does, and it could just be leading up. This could be just be him not able to open up entirely. That could be it. There's two ways you can look at it. Based off episode 1, I'm not sure how I would swing it. I want to say I don't think he really likes her, and that could also be part of the issues that they have ongoing throughout the show. But I think it's more so like people that are drawn together by trauma or circumstance versus
trauma bonding.
Yeah, versus an actual true emotional love bond. Because there was several times he could have told her how he felt or told her what she wanted to hear, and he didn't. What do you think? Do you think it was more so he done like her, or that it goes back to just his inability to fully express himself?
Well, I feel like it's both, because I feel like at this particular point he has love for Van, but I'm a strong believer in you can't love someone until you have a good sense of love for yourself. Because love is a verb, you know? And you may feel love for somebody, but if you're not showing it, tisk. And I don't feel like he was in a space to be able to show it like that. His mind was in so many different places. And if he is depressed and traumatized about something, he doesn't have the capacity to show genuine love. It will be lust, because lust is to get something from the situation, and love is to give. You're doing it because you want to elevate this person by giving them something. It has nothing to do with what you get out of that, what it does for you, or none of that. You literally say, I value this person in this situation so much, I want to do this, and you do it. Period. Whereas the space that Aaron is in, he couldn't do that. He couldn't love her. So I'm glad you said that, because I didn't think about it like that. But I do also feel like it's a resistance there, because I'm glad it was something that you said. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something that you said that brought out to me the way Van takes advantage of him. Where I feel like she kind of does know her power. She kind of does know that he's more expressive with her than he is anybody else. And with that, she kind of tries to micromanage his emotions. Hence, doing the little things like I said, tell me you love me. Oh, he didn't say it, so, bitch, I'm going on a date.
Yeah.
And her doing that type of thing, even if it's something, even if he did cheat when they were together, whatever, what have you, her doing that and having those responses, that still says a lot about her.
It does.
And that still further creates distrust and disconnect in the relationship. Whereas, why would I feel comfortable telling you I love you if you gonna take that and weaponize it against me later? If you just finna run to the next nigga and have dinner or whatever, and then what the fuck I look like telling you I love you if you out with another nigga? Like, how is that gonna look? Now I'm gonna look like I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying?
You were right about that one. That one threw me through a loop. And I know we already kind of said it, but literally, how would you feel? Like, if I was laid up with somebody, we wake up and I'm kissing on her, I'm hugging her, we just kind of, we in our bubble, and she goes, Trey, tell me you love me. And I'm like, and then, I guess I would I guess I messed the moment up, but I mean, the second now I'm starting to rethink what I'm thinking.
I mean, it'd be like that.
Because, dang, if I can't tell you I love you after we basically, they're not married, but they're basically acting married, and I can't say I love you, why wouldn't I? If I was laid up with some girl and I say, tell me you love me, and she laugh like, hey, why you doing that? Hell yeah! I'm going on a date tonight.
He laughs, so it is like, You know what I'm saying? It's offensive. Definitely. So I definitely understand her being like, this nigga don't love me. But I also feel like pick a struggle. Because stop telling this man to tell you that he loves you when y'all aren't solidified in a relationship right now. It's complicated, you know, whatever is going on. And two, like I said, you don't tell nobody to tell you they love you. If they love you, they're going to show it. They're going to say it
that is very true.
Straight up. And so a natural response, it's like what you want.
Like, yeah.
What is like that's a weird thing to say. That's a weird thing to say, especially if you see things a certain way. We in the swing of some shit. Like, don't, like me personally, don't tell me to tell you I love you. Let me do that shit on my own. Like, you trying to show pony me. I'm what the fuck? You want me to just jump when you say jump? You want me to just snap into action when you say snap into action? And that's why it gets into that micromanaging thing, and where I can kind of understand Ern having his own trust issues, because it seems like the goalpost is constantly moving. It seems like we good in this minute, and then you find something to fuss about and argue about. So it's like, do you love me for real? Because you keep saying that you do. You keep saying that you want this, but then you keep finding reasons to not just let it be great. Because they were great. They was in the swing of thing, in the midst. He probably would have laid up there for a couple of more hours. All she had to do was not fucking ask for it. Tell me you love. Like, girl, shut the fuck up and let.
Now look. I see what you said, but I also I think I'm flip flopping here. I really think I'm flip flopping, because the more I think about it, my emotion is just kind of. I'm bringing up arguments on both sides here, because now that you think about it. All right, let's say we were dating. And let's say we're switched. Let's say you a man, I'm a woman. All right. So I like you. I love you. We are doing everything married couples do. We living together. We got a kid in the back. No, let's marry Roosevelt. I'm still a man. You okay? we got a kid in the back. We living together, or basically you over here 5 nights out of the week. You know, we chilling. I want more, but you ain't giving one. I know there is an emotional balance. You know what? More I'm thinking about, I'm thinking that's it. She knows there is an emotional disconnect with Ern. And I think she's trying to bring it out of Ern. Maybe not be the best tactic. But, and then it also could be just, it also dealing with her own insecurities, because insecurities, they suck. A lot of times people think of own insecurities, we think of it like, we think of having insecurity as such as negative thing, when it doesn't necessarily, we don't want to have insecurities, but it's not necessarily just, I wake up and I don't want to believe anything. I wake up and I feel like the world is against me. Sometimes it's just life is hard, and I need my person. I need to know that my person is my person. I need to know that my person is for me. Maybe she's asking him. Maybe she's saying, "Tell me you love me," because it's not necessarily to keep in check. It could be for her to have her own, like,
security.
It goes back into the security, and there's two ways, because you can be looking at chick like, tell me you love me, like I want to check and micromanage, or you can be like, tell me you love me because I need to hear this because I feel low, you know.
But that right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying, that she projects, because instead of you simply expressing, hey, I feel low, I need to hear I love you, you're instead turning the attention to him and putting the responsibility on him to express himself, when really you have something to say. You see what I'm saying?
Oh.
You're deflecting from, you want to express some shit, but because you're afraid to do it, you making it a him problem. You pointing at him. Tell me this. tell me that you got something on your mind when really it's you. Like, yeah, he got something on his mind that he was just trying to express to you, but you cut him off because you obviously had something that you wanted to say, but you didn't really want to say
it. Go ahead, Dr. Phil.
And that's why I said I have a love-hate relationship when it comes to Van.
Okay.
And when it comes to them, like, you know, especially as it concerns the earlier stages, them being together, because her saying that creates the energy to not trust her, because you're showing that you need a hell of a lot of gratification that you really need to start with yourself doing. Like, don't constantly look for me to say. If you ain't been able to rely on him all of this time, why do you keep looking to rely on him? You already know.
I can see what you're all right.
So you keep making it a him problem when it's you need to decide what you want for your life and do that shit.
So basically, you just need to be more vocal about how she feels versus asking, instead of her saying, tell me I love you to make me feel better, tell him I am having these issues.
Yeah, you can say, Ern, I love you, but I'm scared. Because that's essentially what she's trying to say. I love you, I want to be with you, but I'm scared. So instead of her saying that, she's saying, tell me you love me, knowing that he not gonna fucking say it. So that she can prove herself right about the insecurity and have a reason to go on that date, cuss him out, to not fix herself and evolve herself. Because even outside of that moment, you talking about, oh, rent is due with this and that. You're not doing this with your life. You're not doing that. What are you doing? Are you working a job that you're happy with?
Probably not.
Are you making the money that you wish that you were making?
Definitely not.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you're suppressing yourself. Let's talk about how you don't, you know what I'm saying, do this and that. Why is it always a you? You're doing this, you're doing that. Yeah. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. With, like, when people are overtly that, that's why I said it'd be different if she acknowledged her own faults in the process, which she rarely does. So it's a lot of projection and hypocritical aspects, which creates an understanding for why Ern would function with her how he does. Because you ain't right either. Definitely. Y'all are two sides of the same coin.
Definitely. All right.